16-race 1987 Grand Prix World Championship starts here in the searing heat of Brazil. And it's all changed for 87. A new formula which embraces both 1.5-litre turbocharged and 3.5-litre normally aspirated engines. All the teams this year will be using the same type of Goodyear tyre, and there have been more designer and driver changes than we've seen for years. Even the race starter is new. When the lights turn to green, 13 of today's 22 drivers will be new to Formula One or with new teams. Defending champion Alain Prost has been joined at McLaren by Stefan Johansson, whose Ferrari place has been taken by Gerhard Berger. Lotus have a new Japanese driver, Satoru Nakajima, Honda engines and a revolutionary new suspension. As they line up for 61 laps of the demanding and abrasive Jacaré-Paguá circuit in a temperature of some 35 degrees centigrade, there are at least 9 potential winners on the grid. And in pole position, starting the season as he means to go on, it's Nigel Mansell, nearly half a second quicker than his Williams teammate Nelson Piquet. Third, Ayrton Senna, just 1/100th of a second faster than Theo Fabi's Benetton. Fifth, world champion Alain Prost. Sixth, Thierry Boutsen in the second Benetton, ahead of Gerhard Berger's Ferrari. Derek Warwick is an excellent eighth in his first drive for Arrows, followed by Alboreto ninth and Johansson 10th. Jonathan Palmer in the Tyrrell at 19th is the fastest non-turbo, ahead of Martin Brundle's turbocharged Saxby. But they're both 10 seconds slower than Mansell, which means they could well be lapped 6 times in the race. And the Brazilian Grand Prix has started. It looks like a clean start. Piquet leads. Senna is up ahead of Mansell, who's had a bad start and has been passed by both Benetton. Nelson Piquet then, the man who is in his second season with Williams, has now got Ayrton Senna, who has got the new computerized active ride suspension on the Lotus, and with which he is not at all happy. The two Brazilian local heroes, Piquet, world champion of 81 and 83, lead, followed by last year's pole position holder Senna. There is Fabi in third place, Boutsen in the Benetton in fourth position, Mansell in fifth, and you can see how low the ride height is as they strike sparks. Piquet. And a replay of the start.
Yes, and Mansell didn't really get the drop at the start. It's a little bit slow wave. You see a lot of weaving about, but everybody got away without contact as we rejoin Nelson Piquet. He's coming up to complete the first lap.
The Honda left the Williams Honda completing lap 1, 60 to go, less change than most of the cars. Senna seems to have made up a little time on Piquet in the lead.
Now, there was an official there on the start line with a black flag. We couldn't see what number he was holding out, but the black flag, when shown with your car number, means that you have to come into the pits because there has been some infringement or some reason that the stewards wish to speak to you. So we will try to determine who that's for and why.
While we watch Nelson Piquet leading on lap 2, followed by Ayrton Senna second, the two Benettons third and fourth, Fabi and Boutsen, Mansell still in fifth place. And let us remind ourselves that tyre wear is going to be absolutely critical in this race. They are all on the same type of Goodyear tyre, and because of the power they're producing, it is expected that some of the teams may have to make 4 stops.
And we understand that the black flag then was for Campos, the Spanish driver who's making his debut in Grand Prix racing because he joined the back of the grid and didn't take his place correctly by coming around with the field.
And Nigel Mansell, I can tell you, has now moved ahead of Thierry Boutsen up into fourth place. So here comes the leader, number 6, Nelson Piquet, the oldest man in the race, incidentally. Now he does about 200 miles an hour down the straight, and you can see Mansell is tucked up in the second of the Williams Hondas, right behind Theo Farby's car. There's Senna in second place. So Mansell is starting to move through the field. He's up in the fourth, past Bootson, challenging the third place man, Farby. And we look at Nelson Piquet, and we are now on lap 3 out of 61. It's very flat, and Mansell is third. And not only third, but well ahead of Theo Farby. And of course, if Mansell can get past Senna, and I think he can, because Senna has said that he's not at all happy with the active ride suspension of the Lotus as Piquet comes through to complete lap 3. Mansell will then only have his double world champion teammate, and I put the word teammate in quotes ahead of him, because in fact Mansell and Piquet are not the best of friends. Now, there is De Cesaris in the second of the Brabham. There are Senna on the left, Mansell on the right. Lap 4, race order. Piquet leads, Senna second, Mansell is in third place, Farby is in fourth position, fifth is Alain Prost playing a waiting game as usual, sixth is Thierry Boutsen, in seventh place is Berger, and there is the change as the McLaren of Stefan Johansson moves up a place and Piquet comes through to complete his fourth lap. And behind number 28, Gerhard Berger, is his teammate, Michele Alboreto. So the two new Ferraris going fairly well in 7th and 8th places. Mansell now getting ready to go for Ayrton Senna in second place.
Yeah, it's interesting in practice and qualifying for this meeting. Most teams are pretty unhappy with the handling of their cars, couldn't get it quite right. The two teams that stood out on that were the Benetton team and the McLaren team. Alain Prost, as usual, in no hurry to assert himself early in the race, working on the philosophy that he only needs to be in front on lap 61, but not particularly before it. Nigel Mansell came whizzing up to Senna, but of course now he's in the hole in the air that Senna's car makes, which of course affects the aerodynamics of his car. He's driving in a partial vacuum and his wings don't work so well, therefore he doesn't get the downforce, and this is where overtaking becomes very difficult, because the closer you get to the car in front, the worse your car behaves.
Senna, of course, will certainly not be making it easy for Nigel Mansell to get past him. So we have a Williams leading, that yellow Lotus second, a Williams in third place. There's the race leader, Nelson Piquet. The Benetton of Theo Farby in the fourth position, and incidentally Alain Prost was fastest in the final half hour of practice this morning, and you see him in the background there. He's closing up on the Benetton in front of him. Second fastest in the warm-up, and this is significant too, was the Ferrari of Michele Alboreto, and there is Senna. Now, a quick word about this active ride computerized suspension system on Senna's car. It dispenses with the normal springs and shock absorbers and replaces them by hydraulics controlled by a computer, which works as computers do with lightning speed. And it means to say that if it is working properly, the ride height, that vital gap between the bottom of the car and the track, is absolutely constant, irrespective of the fuel load. That should help the aerodynamics, which helps the grip on the ground, and of course helps tire wear. Lotus have been working on this for a long, long time. Mansell drove an active ride, computerized suspension car as long ago as 1983 and didn't like it at all. But Peter Wright, the brilliant Lotus engineer, has got it working much better, but still not entirely to the satisfaction of second place man Ayrton Senna. There's Piquet, the leader. We are on lap 6, which is just about 1/10 distance. Now, Senna second, Mansell third, Farby is in fourth position. Fifth behind him and getting closer all the time is Alain Prost, and in sixth position it's Thierry Boutsen. There is Johansson moving up through the track, and Warwick is in 11th place in the Arrows. Martin Brundle is in 13th, And in 17th place is Palmer.